The USPS. It's as American as apple pie, baseball, and complaining about the government. We know them for delivering our birthday cards, our bills, and those weird catalogs for things we didn't know existed. But the Postal Service is more than just a mailman shoving letters in a box. It's a massive network, reaching every single address in America, from bustling cities to remote mountaintops. Rain or shine, snow or sleet, especially sleet, because let's be honest, mail carriers are hardcore. They deliver. This universal service is a cornerstone of American life. It connects families and businesses, allows grandma to send her famous cookies, and ensures that even the most remote citizen can receive vital documents. Without the USPS, America would be a whole lot quieter and probably a lot less delicious, especially if you're on grandma's cookie list. Now, let's address the elephant in the room, or should we say the junk mail in your mailbox. The USPS has been called slow, outdated, and about as efficient as a donkey trying to climb Mount Everest. Critics point to the mountains of junk mail, the seemingly empty delivery trucks, and the ever-increasing price of stamps. They argue that private companies like FedEx or UPS, with their fancy tracking numbers and speedy delivery times, could do a much better job. And let's be honest, sometimes those delivered by 8 p.m. promises are pretty tempting. But this argument misses a crucial point. The USPS isn't just another company trying to make a profit. They're a public service, legally obligated to deliver to every address, no matter how remote or unprofitable. And here's where things get interesting. Remember those private companies like FedEx and UPS? Well, they love to criticize the USPS, but they also rely on it, especially when it comes to the last mile of delivery, that final stretch to your doorstep. It's often cheaper for these companies to hand off packages to the USPS for final delivery, especially in rural areas where those individual deliveries can eat into profits. In other words, they're happy to let the Postal Service do the heavy lifting, literally, while they enjoy the profits. And speaking of profits, let's talk about Amazon. The behemoth of online shopping, the champion of convenience, the company that's slowly turning us all into hermits who haven't seen the inside of a mall in years. Amazon, despite its own massive delivery network, relies heavily on the USPS, especially for those last-mile deliveries. Section 4, the poison package. Why capitalists don't want to touch USPs. So, if the USPS is supposedly so inefficient, why haven't those savvy capitalists swooped in to dismantle it? You'd think they'd be chomping at the bit to get their hands on such a vast network. Well, here's the thing, the USPS is a bit like that house down the street with the peeling paint and the overgrown lawn. It's got good bones, a great location, but it needs a lot of work. And that work? It's expensive. Taking over the USPS would mean inheriting a massive infrastructure, a unionized workforce, and the obligation to deliver to every single address in America, even the unprofitable ones. It's not exactly a recipe for a quick buck. Section 5, Socialism for the Rich. The curious case of USPS and corporate welfare. So, what does it all mean? Is the USPS a bastion of inefficiency, ripe for privatization? Or is it a vital public service, unfairly maligned and taken for granted? The answer, like most things in life, is complicated. The USPS is a unique beast, existing somewhere between a government agency and a business. It's tasked with serving the public good while also trying to balance its books. And let's be honest, that's a tough needle to thread. But here's the kicker. While the USPS is often criticized as being inefficient, it's actually incredibly efficient at one thing: providing affordable logistics for large corporations. Those cheap last-mile deliveries? They're a subsidy, a way for taxpayers to indirectly support the bottom line of some of the wealthiest companies in the world. So, the next time you see a mail carrier braving the elements to deliver a package, remember, they're not just delivering mail, they're delivering a system that, for better or worse, has become the backbone of American commerce. And that, my friends, is the curious case of the USPS, a government service that's become a vital cog in the capitalist machine.